what's up, Facebook? How's it going? Woo, we got something hot and spicy to talk about today. So as you are jumping on, let me know you're here. Give me a shout out, put your name down below, where you're connecting from. And of course, if you're catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay, let me know you're there. Of course, you can tag me in any questions that come up that you catch on the replay. All right, people. Hi. You jumping on? Let me see where you're at. Let me see where you're at. Okay, so I'm looking over here on my screen because I got two screens open. So I don't mean to not look at you. Oh yeah, we got a handful of people. Hey, hi. Who's out there? Hey, Deb from Boston. Hey, Alice. Good to see you. Hey, Sherry. From Penn State. Awesome. Who else is out there? Howdy, howdy. Let me make sure that I'm broadcasting on all my pages so the world knows we are going live. Let me just make sure it's showing up. There it is. Awesome. All right. So again, keep letting me know you're out there. Hey, Michelle, listening from work. Ooh, I love it. So sneaky. All right, so give me a shout out. Don't be shy. I always love knowing who's out there with me. Love knowing who's going to be going on this ride with me. Hey, Nina, Florida in the house. That's right. Way to represent. All right, so let's talk about this juicy topic here today. So what we're going to talk about, we're talking about results, tangible, real results, and being a coach. I've been a professional coach for over 10 years now, and it's not as easy. It's maybe easier said than done to actually get your clients kicking ass, where they're rocking and rolling. They're getting tangible results from your programs, your workshops, your coaching, whether this is one-on-one, whether it's in a group. I really actually think it's a really big problem. There's like an epidemic here in the coaching industry. And I think it contributes to why so many clients or customers are skeptical of why they feel burned. They feel ripped off because they didn't get the results that they were promised from the coaching, from the programs, from the workshops. Now, let me just put this big, huge disclaimer out there. And I know, and I hope you know that I know that you know that it's not our responsibility. We cannot take on the full responsibility for the results that our clients get or don't get. I totally get that, and I believe that. However, I also believe that as a professional coach, as someone who is taking and receiving people's hard-earned dollars, that it's part of my responsibility, my obligation, my commitment is to deliver on what I say I'm going to promise that I'm going to deliver on. It's to be able to provide them with the environment, the tools, the skill set that I say I'm going to provide them with to help them get their desired results. So I'm saying I'm not responsible for their results, nor are you, but I do believe we are responsible to them. We are responsible to provide them with what we're saying we're going to provide them with what we say we can help them with. And far too many times for me, and I take full, this is all on me, people. I take full responsibility and ownership for all the clients that I've ever served, as should you. And, I hate to say, I'm not too proud to say, but I've had more clients than I would like to say that didn't get the results that I promised that I proclaimed they could or would get by coaching with me, being in one of my programs, being in one of my workshops. And, that's hard to even say. Okay, can we just get maybe a couple of you to agree that you've had this too? So maybe I'm not the only one. It's hard to say that. It's hard to own up to the fact that yeah, not all my clients have gotten the results that I wanted so badly for them. But they fell short. They fell short. And I know this is not, I know this isn't just me. I know that many coaches struggle with this. Many coaches want, as like me, want so much for their clients, but yet again, their clients are still falling short, or they don't know how. They don't know how to overcome the barrier, overcome and close these gaps that I'm going to share with you today on how to really get their clients results. They don't know how to help their clients take the ball across the finish line and get some points up on that scoreboard. And it's not just about getting points up on the scoreboard, but it's points on the scoreboard to win the game, whatever game they're playing. And so whether you are a business coach, you're a relationship coach, you're a health coach, you're a leadership coach, whatever niche or target market or specific audience that you serve, there are some results that tangible results that they are coming to you for, that it's, again, I believe our responsibility to really provide them with everything they need to be able to carry the ball to the finish line, get points on the scoreboard, and win the game. Again, they're the ones carrying the ball. They're the ones that are running. We can't do that part for them. But there are, like I'm going to share with you guys today, a handful of gaps or reasons why I think we fall short as coaches in really helping them carry that ball to the finish line, getting points on the scoreboard, and winning the game. So, that's a little bit of what I'm going to share with you guys today. And let's see what's Kathy saying. Yes, there's a fine line between my responsibility and theirs. Yes, to get them results that they want for them. Yes, there definitely is, Kathy. And the purpose of this training today is there's a fine line, but there is a line. And that means there's some stuff on our side of the line and there's some stuff on their side of the line. And if we can kind of take a look at where that line lies and what is our responsibility and make sure we're doing our due diligence and putting in 100% on our part, then, if they're not getting their results, that's totally and completely on them. But I do believe there are things that we can do to really up our quality of coaching, the quality of our programs, the quality of our workshops, the quality of what we're delivering to really help set them up for even greater success. And I don't know about you guys, but like I feel so much fulfillment when my clients feel more aware and they feel good and they feel stronger and they feel more confident and they feel more joy and more peace. I absolutely love it. I live for it. And when a client feels great, has more awareness, more confidence, more clarity, more direction, more courage, more peace, more joy, and they're getting tangible results, whoo-wee, that trumps the first one any day of the week. Any day of the week. I mean, it's like, it's compounding, right? There's a compounding fulfillment and joy when my clients are getting actual tangible results and they feel great, right? I want both. I don't want just one or the other. I want both. Alice is saying, yeah, upfront expectations on that seems important. Absolutely. And I mean, and maybe that's, hopefully all coaches were doing that, but that totally needs to be said in the beginning of, well, here's what I'm responsible for. Here's how I'm going to show up. Here's what my job is. And then here's what your job is. Here's what you're responsible for. Here's what I can't do for you. And here's what I can. So it's definitely being clear on that upfront is going to best serve you and your client. And again, the reasons that your client still may be falling short may be one of these reasons that I'm going to share today. So let's jump into them. So Okay, so I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why your clients aren't getting tangible results and what you can do about it. Okay, so reason number 1, reason why they're not getting tangible results is you're too easily impressed. You're too easily impressed. And here's what I mean by that is even just what I just said, as someone says, wow, I feel so good and I feel so at peace. I feel so much joy. I feel so much more clarity. I feel amazing. And we celebrate and we're, yay, awesome, well done. And we're like celebrating and we're so proud of them and we're so happy. And we are. But then where is the extra nudge, accountability, the extra what's like, okay, good. Now what? Now what are you doing with you feel so good, you do feel so amazing? Okay, what did you do differently this week? How did that show up differently on the job, in your relationship, in your health choices, your life and wellness choices? What did you do with that feeling good? What did you do? What did you create with that joy that you now are oozing joy? Now, how did that show up differently with your choices on where you spent your time? How did that show up differently in your schedule, in your checkbook, in your relationships, in your conversations? How did that actually show up? How did you show up differently? And let's talk about the effect of, the result of that joy, that clarity. And don't be impressed by the feeling good. Don't be impressed by now they have clarity, they have more joy. Let's talk about now what from that place how are you being that greater, fuller expression of your joy? Well, how are you creating more from that place of joy? How are you creating more from that place of clarity? Because here's the deal. Here is the deal. It's not to say, again, that we aren't so excited that they're more clear, more happy, more joyful. Yes, great, awesome. But here's the deal, people, coaches, is at the end of the day, when your contract ends with that client, or they finish that program, or they finish your workshop, and at the end of the day, when they say, wow, I feel great, I feel more clear and more confident, and then their friend says, awesome, well, did you get more business from that? Did you make more money? Did you lose more weight? Did you get more clients? Are you and your husband in a better place now? It's going to impact the referrals you get. It's going to impact the testimonials you can share. It's going to impact your reputation. I mean, there's a ripple effect here of not helping your client take that football that they now are carrying and helping them carry it across the finish line to get the touchdown, to get the points on the board so they can win the game. Someone can play a game of football or soccer or any sport and they can feel amazing on the field, on the court, during the match. But what are they talking about at the end of the game? They're talking about at the end of the game who won the game, who had the most points on the scoreboard. And that's the part, as us as coaches, now not to make it just about us getting business or getting clients, but really at the end of the day, what gets me referrals, what gets me easy business is the testimonials of clients that I've served and the results that they've gotten. Not to mention the even greater joy that I get that they actually got tangible results, not to mention the greater joy they get by actually having tangible results. So stop being so easily impressed by an internal shift. Now, here's what I know. Okay, so much of this, I feel like I need to put a disclaimer out there. I know, and I know you know, as a coach, it all begins from the inside out, right? The shift happens on the inside out. And so, yes, we want to celebrate that. We want to acknowledge that. I'm not saying that that's not a good thing. I'm not saying that feeling good, feeling great, feeling confident is not an awesome, amazing, powerful thing. All I'm saying is don't stop there. And And I know you're not, because it's not like at the end of the, it's not like, yay, let's celebrate, and then you don't coach them to their next steps. But I really want you to recognize how much celebration and acknowledgement goes into that internal shift, and how much of that celebration and that acknowledgement and that nudge needs to be to also get them to the next step that's going to produce a tangible result. So, yay, celebrate the internal shifts. But you and I as coaches, don't get too impressed. Don't be satisfied. Do not be satisfied with them just being happy because now they feel more confident. Okay, well, how did you show up differently in that networking event? How did you show up differently on stage? How did you show up differently in that sales conversation? Did you get the sale? Did you get the extra client? Did you get booked? Like what came of it? So that's number one. Now here's the deal. It's like, okay. What needs to change from a coach's perspective? What needs to change in order to not be so easily impressed? And here's what my solution, my answer to that is to hold yourself as a coach, hold yourself and hold your client to an even higher standard. So what does that mean? That means, yes, we celebrate and we acknowledge the internal shifts, but we hold ourselves and them to a higher standard of carrying it through to execution and application to the tangible result. And so having higher standards on, again, I don't want to take away the celebration of the internal shift at all, because again, it begins there. It always begins in the inside, right? From the inside out. But just like, what's a good analogy? Just like, okay, this may or may not be a good example. It's just what's coming to me. If I were to say, I'm going to work out 3 times this week. And I say, well, I felt really good. I was really going to do it. I felt like I'm really ready. I'm really ready to commit to this workout program. I'm really ready to do the work. And I'm feeling really good about it. Okay, did you work out 3 times this week? No, but I'm ready to do that. I'm thinking about it and I'm feeling really good about it. I got my shoes laced up. I got my weights there. I got my, did you hit play on the video? No, but I feel really good. I feel really strong. I feel really confident that this time I'm going to stick with it. Okay, but did you hit play? Did you do the workout? No. Okay. So we're not going to celebrate again until you do the workout. I want you to text me after you're sweating and you've done the workout. And so is this making sense, you guys? Is this making sense how, I don't know about you guys, but if you, I've done this. I get too excited for my client just because they feel good about something and feel confident about something and they feel ready to do something, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet. And we celebrate a little too much about that. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that with a client where they didn't pull the trigger, but you still celebrated maybe a little too much? Anyone? Yes, Alice has. Good. I'm not the only one. That's what I'm talking about. All right. That's what this closing this gap is all about. Yes, celebrate. Yes, acknowledge, but not too much. Cap it off until they actually do the action. Then there's more celebration in store. All right. Sound fair enough? Deb saying, yes, results must be measurable. Yes. And we're going to get to that even more so, Deb. Awesome. All right. So let me just say one more thing about standards. This is something that is not just for, how do I say it? This is something that's not just for your clients. This will happen naturally with your clients when you are holding yourself to a higher standard. and you're going to see a pattern of this in the 3 reasons. But this really comes down to, and will be effortless for you, if you are holding yourself to a higher standard in all areas of your life. This will be natural for you to do as a coach, to hold your clients to a higher standard. Okay, so this is kind of a great place for you to kind of do your own little check-in with yourself and ask yourself, like, how well do you hold yourself to a high standard of saying what you do, doing what you say you're going to do with integrity, that you stick to your goals and your plans, that you say yes to the things that honor your purpose and passion and plan, and you say no to the things that don't honor it, that you recognize the excuses and say no to them and get them out of there. Like, how high are you holding yourself to your standards, your values, what's important to you, what you say is important to you? Because here's the deal. If you let yourself off the hook way too often and way too much, you'll let your clients off the hook way too often and way too much as well. You'll celebrate the feeling good because you're not holding yourself to a higher standard. Then it makes it really easy to celebrate the client, not carrying the ball to the finish line, getting points on the scoreboard, because you don't do that with yourself either. So a lot of this is a mirror back to you, and how you can do this effortlessly with your clients is when you start really taking a look at what your standards are and how you hold yourself to your own standards. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was never really taught how to set high standards and how to honor them, how to enforce them. I just kind of learned by breaking my promises, not living in alignment, not honoring what I say I valued, and realizing that I was out of integrity. I was out of alignment. And it wasn't until exactly things like this, where my clients weren't getting results, that I realized that a lot of where I struggled to help my clients carry the ball to the finish line was because I was out of alignment. I wasn't holding myself to the high enough standard to then hold my client to that high enough standard. So that's something for you to take a look at just within yourself, so that you are setting yourself up and your client up for their greatest results and greatest success. Now, if this is something you'd like help on, if you'd like help on setting higher standards, or even just setting your standards, let alone high standards, but should be high, setting high standards, living in alignment with those standards and your values, that's something that, I work all day long with my clients on. That's a big part of what helps them enforce this so easily and effortlessly, in their practices, their coaching businesses. All right, let's go on. Let's go to the second reason. The second reason why your clients aren't getting tangible results, and this is a big one. This is a really big one. You ready for it? The second reason why your clients are not getting tangible results is because you're afraid to piss off your clients. Yeah, I said it. You're afraid to piss off your clients. And so here's what happens. Our clients have excuses. They don't do what they said they were going to do. They're circlers. Have you ever had a circler? Oh, the circlers, right? Circling, but not taking the action, or dabbling, but not really fully committed. They're totally just in their heads, getting in their own way. And what do? We go to our coaching skill set and we ask our open-ended questions, and we so badly want for them to come to their own awareness of how they're in their own way, of what they could do differently, of what their truth is. And here's the deal. That's great. And that's like, coaching 101 is to help the client come to their own awareness, that they have the answers within them. And it's our job as a coach to help them discover those answers within them. But we also know as human beings that sometimes someone speaking the truth, some tough love, some straightforward, no nonsense, tough love, truth of what we need to know, of what's really going on, of them holding up the mirror. And sometimes it's ugly. Sometimes we don't want to see what's in the mirror. We don't want to know the truth. Sometimes we have been avoiding it, hiding from it, lying to ourselves. And sometimes it takes that person that we love and trust, our coach, to speak the truth to us for us to finally get it. Have you been there? Have you been there where your coach can ask you, or you've asked a client all the open-ended questions? You've tried really, really hard to help that client see how they're getting in their own way, and you're trying to hold up that mirror, and they're not seeing it. But when you speak truth to them, impeccable truth, from your truth to their truth, it lands, and it's mind-blowing. And there's a part of them that it like clears the fog, and they can actually see what they're doing that's destructive, that's a lie, that has really gotten them in their way. And knowing that that was really the only way that they were going to hear it was sometimes you need somebody else to say it. And I liken this to, a football coach, a soccer coach, whatever, a sports coach, an Olympian coach, Olympic coach, a personal trainer, a running partner. Like those people, those types of coaches and trainers and professionals will stretch you in a way that you can't stretch yourself. They will push you in a way that you can't push yourself. You will have a harder workout, a faster run, perfect a skill set way faster with a coach pushing you than you will ever on your own. And so there's a part of this truth telling that's stretching, it's pushing, it's taking your client where they can't go on their own. And now here's my total transparency, is that for the longest time, I was way too afraid to piss off my client with truth telling, because number one, I thought I was breaking some, the coaching 101 rule that I'm supposed to be asking questions and let them come to their own awareness of this. So here I am thinking I'm breaking coaching 101 rule. I'm also afraid to lose the client. What if I piss off the client and then they're mad at me, and then they don't want to work with me, or they want their money back, or, so what does that say? Like, what if I lose the client and then I need the money? And then what does that say about me as a coach? What does that say about my business? What does that do for my reputation? And if you listen to what I'm saying, it's all about me. Me not wanting to speak truth to my client when they need to hear it. Me not wanting to push them, stretch them, challenge them, call them out on their shit. Me not wanting to do that was about me. It's about me. It's about you. If you are resisting when your client needs to hear the truth, they need to have the mirror held up to them. They need to be stretched and challenged and called out on their bullshit. And then you're not doing that. That's on you. That's your junk. That's your junk. And you're actually doing a disservice to them as your client, because it's in that very moment that they need to be called out, that they need to be stretched, that they're on this verge of accepting their lie and their excuse. And if you don't help carry them over the edge, push them over the edge, they're going to buy into their excuse, and then you're going to buy into it too. And they're going to buy into their story, and you're going to buy into it too. Out of your own fear, out of your own insecurity, out of your own stuff, your own story of what you're making it to be. And it's when I finally really got into my own truth and my own power and my own confidence that I started showing up a lot differently with my coaching clients and in my programs. And guess what? They started getting massive results. And it wasn't until then that they started to actually increase their prices, get clients, finally launch their workshop or their retreat that they've been talking about forever. And it wasn't until then that there was like this huge, just tipping point of them getting massive results. And at the time, I'm like, holy cow, I'm such a bitch. Like it's like, I'm the cheerleader. Everybody loves me. Everybody likes me. My clients love me. And so there was also this identity of who I was as a coach and what my job was. And I realized that by me being just always the encourager, always the cheerleader, I actually wasn't doing my job. And that was a tough pill to swallow, but it was the truth. So your willingness to look in your own mirror and see how you're showing up or not showing up for your clients, where you're letting them get away with their excuses, you're letting them get away with their stories and their lies, that's on you. There's a huge opportunity here for you to step up as to how you show up as a coach. And so let me give you guys an example, and this kind of ties in reason number one and reason number two. This happened just literally yesterday. So just yesterday, I had a client who we were celebrating a win. There was something that was totally scary that she was facing, and she did it. And we were like, yay, you did it. And we were celebrating. So that's, reason number one. I'm celebrating not just, well, at first it would have just been to celebrate her feeling good about it, but she actually did it. She did it afraid. And then she started to say how after she did it, she was saying to herself, like, oh my God, like, why did I make that so hard? Well, that wasn't a big deal at all. Like, what was my problem? Why did I make that such a big deal? And right there in that moment, I'm thinking, okay, she's just telling me this win and I'm celebrating with her. But now I'm hearing something that's a problem. And the problem is that she went into, okay, yay, I did it. I did it afraid. Yay, celebrate, big win. And then she went into some self-beating, her inner bully, shame, judgment. Because then she started to say, well, why did I make such a big deal out of that? That wasn't a big deal. Why was I so afraid of that? That's so stupid. Why was I afraid of that? I made a big deal out of that for nothing. And she started to beat herself up for how she handled the situation. And so here we are. I'm in that moment and I'm like, oh, all right. She's celebrating. Do I want to take this win away from her and call her out and say, wait a minute. Okay, yes, we're celebrating that, but there's room for lots of improvement right here. And I did. But the old me, the old coach Melissa, would have said, well, I don't want to take this win away from her. I don't want to, squash and rain on her parade because she just had this big win. And now I'm going to say, well, but she didn't do it perfectly. And now I know better. And I know that I would have been robbing her of the opportunity to see, yes, we can celebrate you did it afraid, but there's huge growth opportunity here that after you do it afraid, that you don't go beat yourself up about how you thought it was scary and you were afraid. And so I called her out on it and I said, whoa, wait a minute. When we do something afraid, we don't then beat ourselves up about that we were afraid of it. How could we reframe that conversation? How can we talk to ourselves from our place of power, our place of truth, our place of love after we've just done something afraid, instead of beating ourselves up about it, that we did it, but we were afraid of doing it. And so now she changed the conversation, the internal conversation and dialogue to say, Holy shit, that was totally scary. I did it. Hell yeah, I did it. And that just totally, completely changed her relationship to herself by not turning that into a self-beating at the end, but rather celebrating that she did something afraid. And yeah, it was scary. And yeah, she did it. Wahoo! So I share that example because it's something that little, that quickly, we can miss the opportunity to help our clients have massive growth and totally transform and evolve the relationship they have to themselves, which we know is like the key to everything. So not being afraid to interrupt a celebration, not being afraid to interrupt, where a client thinks they did well, and you're like, yeah, you did better, but there's still lots of improvement here. And when we miss those little tiny moments to really stretch and push our clients to that next level, again, they miss out, we miss out. And again, that's why your clients aren't getting tangible results. There's not change, like tangible shifts in their conditions and in their life and in their business and their relationships, because it's these little things that you're missing out on calling them out on it, of interrupting something that might seem good on the outside, but really it was good. And there's lots of room for improvement. So, is this landing for you guys? Does this make sense? Let me check in with you guys. I feel like I haven't checked in with you guys for a little bit here. So let me just check in on some of your comments here. Yes, making sense. Oh, here's Alice to Alice. What does it say? The best you can is good enough. And are you sure your standards are up to level and up to level you want them, or do you need to keep chickening out? Maybe I missed that. The best you can is good enough. And are you, can't read. Sure, your standards are up to level. Here's the thing. That's a great question, Alice. And here's the thing is, most of us are chickening out on our standards, on our level, where we place our standards. Most of us are chickening out. And that's why we have a hard time holding our clients to a higher standard, is because we're not holding ourselves to that. So I would absolutely take a look at your standards and see where you might need to raise them a lot. And this is where actually it leads into reason number 3, which I'll get to in a second. But this is where that gets really scary, because when we raise our standards significantly is where we start saying no to things we used to say yes to, and we start saying yes to things that we used to say no to. And not everybody likes that. It's one thing to raise a standard and hold it just for yourself and to create that new habit for yourself. It's like a whole nother level then, because it interrupts our relationships. It interrupts how we show up everywhere. So then it's getting everyone else's reaction and response to those. That can be tough as well. And that's something, that my client, this is what we work with on my clients, is really getting clear on those standards. Because at the end of the day, if you're not able to hold yourself to those standards, then it's really hard to hold your clients and others to those standards and teach them to do the same. We chicken out, and guess what? Then we chicken out on our clients too, and we're not teaching them how to hold to those standards as well. This is something that, again, I'm totally passionate about. We dive deep into this in my Break Your Records program, because you can't break a record unless you have high standards and unless you know how to hold to them and honor them. Renetta, I have a circler now. Oh no. I actually asked them to create a chore chart of their daily goals, and then we would celebrate when they got a certain amount of stars for the week. How cute. Oh my God, that's totally funny. I love it. So here's my challenge to you, Renetta, is when your circler doesn't complete their chore chart, what are you going to do? How are you going to hold them accountable? How are you going to call them out? How are you going to help them? How are you going to help hold up the mirror for them of how they're not doing what they say they want to be doing? And that part you can't do for them, right? This is where the responsibility line comes in. And it's like, I can't do the chore chart for you. You have to do that. But what I can do is I can hold up the mirror for you and where you're out of integrity, where you're out of alignment, where you're not, there's a block here. And are you willing to take a look at that block? Are you willing to face it? Let's take a look at what's really here. So awesome on the your chore chart. Now it's being prepared to really hold them accountable to it. Do you ask their permission to share that truth? Great question, Deb. Yes and no. Yes, I do from day one. So day one, I let them know this is my style. This is how coaching works with me. Is yes, I'm going to ask you open-ended questions. Or, I follow coaching 101, whatever. But I also speak truth, and I will also hold up the mirror for you. That's my job. I feel that's my job. I know for me that is my job, to hold up the mirror, to speak truth when they're just missing it and they're not getting to that place. And I can see it clearly, is that I'm going to point it out to them. And so I get that permission from day one. And I may also, I'll feel intuitively into the actual conversation of saying, okay, let's time out. I need to hold up the mirror for you. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? And I may kind of prep them that I'm about to lay down some truth. They know it's coming from love. They know it's only and always coming from my truth, that sees and knows the truth of who they are, and that there is this lie, this barrier, this fog. And my job from a place of truth and power and love is to help clear the fog. And so they know that that's where I'm coming from, my intent. And I may say to them, this might be hard to hear. This is going to be hard to hear. Or, okay, here's the truth. You want to hear the truth? Are you ready for it? So yeah, I may ask permission in that regard, but they also know that's kind of my style, and they know that that's kind of what they signed up for. So, here's Kathy. One of my favorite quotes on truth telling when looking at results. Results often harsh are always fair. Absolutely, Kathy. Results do not lie. Results don't lie. So, this is really powerful, because you're right, Kathy, results do not lie. And us as coaches who are helping, it's part of our job is to help our clients get results in whatever area of their life, in whatever niche, whatever your target market is. Our job is to help them get results. And so when your client is just feeling better, but not getting results, again, results don't lie. And so when you're trying to get more clients, you're trying to fill your programs, fill your workshops, but your clients aren't getting results, like that doesn't lie. And I guarantee you, it's going to be way harder to fill your workshops, to get one-on-one coaching clients, to fill your programs if your clients aren't getting results. So you should have just as much of investment in wanting and helping and doing whatever it takes to help them get results, because it's such a big part of your brand and your reputation, if you are or you aren't. Like, tell me, for those of you who are parents, or maybe you don't even have to be a parent, this might just be for you. Like, if you were going to sign your kid up for, the soccer team or the school or some after school program, do you want to sign your kid up for the sport or the school that has the highest results, like has the highest, most championships, highest performers, the schools that have the highest achievers, the best, the smartest kids graduate from that school? Or do you want the school where, they're happy, but they're not graduating? Again, now, I'm not to take away the happy part, right? I want the coach who has the happiest, strongest, most confident players that are winning tournaments and winning championships. I want my kid in the school where they're the happiest, the most confident, the strongest, the bravest, the most courageous, and getting the best grades and graduating, the smartest kids, right? Or do you want just them to just be happy and feel strong, but they're not able to pull the grades? They're not able to win the championships. They're not able to get points on the scoreboard. Like, which school are you going to send your kid to? Which sport, which coach are you going to sign your kid up for? Like, I want the one where my kid's happy and performing, okay? Does anybody not want that? So the same goes for you in your business. Which coach are you going to sign up for? Which program are you going to sign up for? Which workshop are you going to go to? The one where you feel great afterward, or the one where you feel great and you got more clients, you know, you are closing more sales, you lost more weight, you're in more shape, you're the strongest you've ever been, and can lift more pounds and weight than you've ever lifted? Like, which one are you going to sign up for? So this is so much a part of just your business growth in general, is really your ability to help your clients get those results. And that is something that I have committed to with my clients. Like, we track our results, we celebrate our results, we break down, what's going on internally, but we want to see how that shows up on the outside. Like, we're investing just as much energy into those internal shifts as we are into doing the terrifying massive action that's going to actually produce the results. And it's a yes. So it's a yes and here. And like I said, this is my passion. This is where I place my focus with my clients. We do this in my Breaker Records program, and we're all about internal growth, but we're about results, baby. We're about breaking records. And some of you who are watching here, you're in our Breaker Records program. If you want to find out more information about that program, you can type results right into the comments, and you'll get some more information. Results with an S, results, and you can get some more information on how you can break your records with breaking results, getting huge results. Okay, let's see. Oh, Shane, thanks. Says I'm a badass. Awesome. Awesome, Latasha. She's just showing up here late to the party. That's all right. Oh, I love that, Renetta. Yep, your response is, I cannot fill your chart for you. You must do it. Absolutely. Great. Good. Okay. So let's keep going here. So far here, we are being less impressed, right, with our clients by holding ourselves and them to a higher standard. We're not afraid to piss off our clients. We're not afraid to truth tell. We're not afraid to hold the mirror up with love backing it, right? We're saying what needs to be said from an impeccable place. And okay, so here's number 3. The third reason why your clients aren't getting tangible results is, I know, let me preface it for a second. I believe all of you who are coaches, I believe that at the end of your coaching session, you say, okay, here are your action, let's go over your action items for the week, and here's what your action items are. And you might even put it into a SMART goal, and it's very specific and it's measurable, and you have all the components of an action item at the end of your coaching session. Yay. And you feel like you've done your job as a coach, is that you ended that coaching session with a SMART goal, or your action item that they've committed to. And that's great, but I'm not going to be as impressed, right? I'm not going to be so impressed with it. Here's what I'm going to be more impressed with, and what I believe is necessary is the goals you're probably setting. The majority of the goals you're setting with them, the SMART goals that you're setting with them, they are not nearly big enough, scary enough, or aligned enough. They are not big enough, scary enough, or aligned enough. So here's what I mean, and I think we can all agree to this, is that again, this goes back to you. This goes back to you. If you're playing small in your business and in your life, guess what? When you're working with your clients, you're not going to push them to play bigger because you're not playing bigger. If you're playing small, guess what? Your SMART goals are small goals. If you're not doing scary action, terrifying action, guess what? You're not going to push your clients to go a little notch higher. You're going to nudge them to stretch a little bit more because you're not stretching. You're not doing the scary enough, terrifying enough action. And if you're not aligned yourself, you're not in alignment with your truth, your purpose, your power, then you will accept their goal, their action that they set. So what I mean by that is, I've had clients before where they set a price point. They're like, okay, I'm going to run this mastermind group and I want 10 people and it's going to be, $200 a piece. And I'm going to send 6 emails out or 10 emails out today. And what I mean by it's not aligned enough is that if you're not in alignment, you won't ask them the question of knowing if even that action item is in alignment with them and their truth and their purpose and their power. So they might be underpriced. They might have their goals probably way too small, or maybe it's not. Maybe they actually have this big, ginormous goal or action item for the week, and it's totally out of alignment. They're totally acting out of fear. So that's kind of what I mean by alignment. If the action item that they're doing is out of fear and not their truth, they're going to struggle to do it. You want their goal, their action, I say goal, action item, to be from their place of power, from their truth. That's how you know if that action item for the week or the 2 weeks or the month, however often you're talking to them, is in alignment, is when they've made it from their truth, not from a place of struggle, not from a place of fear. Okay. So at the end of, not even at the end, but during coaching sessions with my clients and in my programs and in Break Your Records, we are making sure that we're going big, we're going scary, and we're in alignment with our truth and our power. And believe it or not, the action item completely changes than when they make the small little goal that's not too scary and it's totally out of fear anyways. It totally changes what they're going to do for the week. I look at, how is this showing up for some of my clients? And specifically, like I said, a client I know has had a goal of, I'm going to charge you $200 a person. I want 10 people in my group. And after talking through that and finding the alignment, making sure that action item wasn't out of fear, came to realize that actually her price point was totally out of fear. $200 for 10 weeks in her mastermind group was totally out of fear. And once we got down to the bottom of it, it was like, well, that was the price because she thinks that's what they would pay. That's what they can afford. And once we got her in alignment, she tripled the price to, actually I think the price was $150. She changed the price to $497, so basically $500, going from $150 to $500, and like in 10 days got 10 clients to sign up for her mastermind group. That's the power of alignment. Also had a client who her rates, she was originally charging $900 for 3 months of coaching. And again, the alignment wasn't there. It was out of fear. It was, well, that's my price because I think that's what can I afford. Well, that's my price because I'm just starting out. I'm a new coach. Well, that's my price because, I'm afraid of rejection and I don't want them to say no. And if I price it low enough, then they can't say no. And so that action item of getting a new client at that price point at $900 for 3 months, that action item was just so out of alignment. It was so plain small. When we got her in alignment, we got her out of her way, willing to do what was scary. she altered her prices to $4,000, more than 5x her rates. So $5,000 for 3 months of coaching. Wait, what did I say? $4,000 for 3 months of coaching, and got her first client at that rate. 5x her rates. She would have had to get 5 clients at the $900, and instead she got 1 client at the 4,000, and and more. That was just her first one that she got at her new rate. Now let me share one more, because this is the power. This is the power of getting your clients massive results, is that you don't let them set action items that are out of alignment, that are placed out of fear and are small. So another client, she increased her rates by 50%. And not only did she increase her rates, what she also changed, and this is the scary part, what she also changed is that normally in a discovery call, she would lead with like her payment plans and say, well, this is what it would be monthly. And if you do all of your payments, and I can throw in this bonus, I can give you this discount. And then, I don't even know if she gave them the pay in full option. But so she did the scary thing. She shifted, because that was totally out of fear, totally out of alignment, was offering all these payment plans and leading with a payment plan, leading with the discount. And instead she led with the pay in full. And yes, if the person would have objected and said, oh, I'd love to do it, but I can't, do you have offer a payment plan? Then she would have done a payment plan. But she increased her rates by 50%. And she led with the pay in full option. And guess what? She got a pay in full client at $9,000 for 6 months. And so that's what I mean by the scary thing. You know how scary that is? You know how scary it is to 5x your rates, to increase your rates by 50%? How scary it is to lead with a pay in full option instead of the payment plan? And so when you can help your clients create actionable, measurable action items that are big enough, scary enough, and aligned, they're from their power and truth, not from fear. That's how you can help them get massive results super quick, super fast, and super fun. And again, this is what we do. This is how I coach my clients. This is what we do in Break Your Records. And that's something I definitely want to, make sure that you guys know about if you're looking to break your own records, get some major results for yourself, really. I mean, this is about you, but it's about when you change how you show up, when you are more in alignment with your truth and power, and you have a price point that's in alignment with you, that you're getting clients more quickly and easily at that price point, when you're willing to do what's scary, when you're willing to do something bigger and scarier, but aligned, that's really how you collapse time and effort. That's really how you get major results for yourself, but obviously that's how you get your clients those results as well. If you're not doing it, if you're not playing a bigger game, if you're not doing scarier stuff, if you're not making sure that your action items are in alignment, you will not do it with your clients. You won't. So as much as this is about them and helping them get better results, this is about you. This is about you holding yourself to a higher standard, you requiring yourself to do what's scary, you requiring yourself to get in alignment, to now no longer operate from fear, operate from just your head, from overthinking, overanalyzing, overprocessing everything. But when you can start to get out of that place, guess what? You can help your clients do that too. And that's where then they start to get quantum leaps in their results. But you're going to struggle to do it if you're not having those changes first in your life and in your business, because then it's fake. Then you're a phony. Then it's not coming from a place of integrity. You're coming from a place of what you know, but you're not living. You're preaching, but you're not living it. And there's no greater feeling that when you are getting results from integrity, from alignment, and you can help your clients do the same. Game over, friends. Game over. That's truly when I put my head on my pillow at night and I know that I've built my business out of integrity, that I know the exact work that I'm asking my clients to do, that I'm doing myself. It's no better feeling. So I'd love to help you do that. I'd love to help you crush some results, to break some records in your business with your clients. And so I'd love to have you check out the Break Your Records program. If it's something that resonates with you, if what I've shared with you today of just raising those standards, speaking more impeccable truth, upping the bar for taking massive, terrifying action, for requiring yourself to be in alignment, as well as your clients, then I'd love for you to check out Break Your Records. You can type in results in the comments, results, and we'll get you some more information about it. You can check it out. All right. Let me check. How's that landing for you guys? Let me check some of your comments here. Kathy is saying here, thanks for the truth telling. I've had an aha with how I'm coaching a client around a goal without the results desired. Very cool, Kathy. Latasha, she's saying, they sure are. Nelson's taking Break Your Records course. My clients don't get to function out of alignment. Amen, sister. I'm telling you, once you get in alignment, it's like a must that you get your clients in alignment, and it's amazing what kind of results they can get from that place. Deb is asking if I use the Aim Smart to get them to go for a big enough, scary enough action plan. Seems like it would take more than Aim Smart. Yeah, Deb, there's like a whole nother process that I take my clients through. I don't even really use to a T Aim Smart or the SMART goals. There's a lot. That could be a whole nother lesson. That could be a whole nother Facebook Live on how I actually get my clients to commit to action and goals that are in alignment. There's a whole nother process for that. But good question. Kathy's saying, yes, alignment is everything. It absolutely is. Without the alignment, you're just setting yourself up and your client up for a bumpy road ahead. For unnecessary struggle. So yeah. All right, my friends. Any other questions, thoughts, comments, just pop them in below. But that ultimately, I hope that you take away from today is asking yourself, how can I show up more powerfully with my clients, not being so impressed, not being afraid to piss them off, and not being afraid to really nudge them, push them, guide them to bigger, scarier, more aligned action items and goals, so that they are really, raising that bar and getting some massive, awesome results. All right, my friends, I love you. I love you. Go rock it. Go rock your business. And let me just say this last thing is, how cool would it be? How important is it? How cool would it be really if all us coaches out there were actually helping our clients get greater, tangible results? What would that do for the coaching industry? What would that do for your business? What would that do for the world? What would that do for your clients? I mean, there's a compounding, awesomely unimaginable effect of what that would look like if we really, really took this seriously and upped our game so that we could show up at a whole nother level for our clients. So that's my challenge to all of you. All right, my friends, I love you. I love you. Go have an amazing rest of your day and week, and we'll see you later. Bye.